Miss G.
Woody had gone right to the police. This would never have happened.
Uh-oh. So, the art is being taken like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
Well, it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the thing, all right?
My undercarriage is sweating.
You guys there?
Hey, welcome to another edition of the Third and Management Podcast. This is a big one. It's fight night at the Ringside Lounge, and nothing but illustrious guests here, and we're following that mantra. We'll get it started right away. No coding on this one. Welcome, Mr. Legendary WCBZ boxer. 39-0. Mr.
36.
Joe. Baby Joe. 36? Yeah, it's 39 on here because you're beating everybody here still in your prime years.
I'll take it.
Mr. Messi, you've had a busy week, my friend. You've had a busy week.
A lot of excitement leading up to this fight. And
does it compare at all to the pre-fight taping, the taping of the wrist? Does it compare at all to, having your last talks with your cutsman? Does it compare at all to the training? Are there any parallels, or do you just and do you miss it?
No, because you know what? It's so enjoyable to just watch boxing, and my poor wife has to fall asleep to it 2 or 3 nights a week. I just love boxing. I love boxing so much. I love watching it.
Well, then what were you doing for the first 19 years of your life?
Well, I love the sport. I don't like the business. We can get into that. But I love watching it. I love attending fights. I like to study it. I see life through the lens of a fighter.
Well, let me ask you something, Baby Joe. What was your first introduction that it is a business? Do you remember that moment?
Well, yeah. It's a business. As soon as I got on the U.S. team as an amateur, I realized the politics and the nastiness. There's nothing more scrupulous or controversial than the U.S. Olympic Committee. The Olympics, the amateurs, and the pros, it's all very nasty. It's a beautiful, beautiful sport that needs more governing.
Oh, I hear you. Well, they got this one sanctioned, and we'd like to welcome the governor of all Italian restaurants here in Butler. He just wants to say what's up. We got the Godfather, Dennis DiPaolo. How you doing, man?
Hey, Kumba, good to have you on. Thanks, Joe. Sincerely appreciate you coming on the great show with my boys here. They're the best. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? I got to tell you quick before we get into tonight's fight.
Oh, here we go.
You do
here
know,
we go.
Kumba, as one of your ringleaders back in the day, we're so proud when you sold out the KeyBank Arena. It was the largest crowd ever at the KeyBank Arena. Joe comes out. We're all getting in. I try to tell my wife and the girls there, girls, we got to get to the seats. Oh, we're going to have a cocktail. One more. I go, this might not be. So we're getting there. They get the introduction. They get down there. The girls get to the seat. Joe's in the ring. Exciting as hell.
Well,
we're all like, we're going crazy.
Now that I have both of you, Papa Ilio in his prime. Ilio in his prime versus Baby Joe in his prime.
No,
who you got? Who you got?
It doesn't happen. Let me tell you this. So,
we got headphones.
When we got it here now, Joe, Kumba. Remember that night? We're all excited, coming down there, all exciting, ready to go, and here we go. And it gets into the ring. 1 minute and 30 seconds. My wife takes one sip. Her girl, Katie, and all go, it's over. That's it. Here he is. Champion, wins it again. It's like, oh, my God, Kumba. There's 18,000 people going crazy. So I hope tonight's fight lasts a little bit longer than that, Kumba. What do you think?
Dennis, if you're looking for a refund, it ain't happening.
Oh, Maron, I tell you what, those guys, they were so disappointed.
Dennis, You've been
You're
so
something.
good to me throughout my career. I've known you for so many years. You and your friends, your establishment have been so good to me, and you are the reason, one of the many reasons of my success, and I will always be grateful to the people of Western New York and Buffalo for this. I would not have the success I had. Thank you.
No, you're the best. No, you did it on your own. I remember going up to the casino, watching you with the size of the guy. I forget his name, but oh my God, we're sitting there bottom ringside. We go, oh, this guy. Oh my God, this guy's like he's a giant, right? Because in there, yeah, that went 3 rounds. He was out.
Baby Joe,
what just knocked him down one after another.
What Dennis doesn't know is when I take this clip and I put it out and I get the AI subtitles, I have to manually go in and edit the verbiage "kumba" every single time because the AI doesn't pick it up. Yeah. So he just created about 10 minutes more work for a lifetime friendship of which you guys have.
Well,
so
that's exactly what it is. Kumba is all family.
Up our Italian lingo.
Here. So Dennis, you got a pick tonight? I think I know who it is. Jake Paul, or who do you think? Mike Tyson, and what round do you think this wraps up? And then I'll let Joe debate you. Mike Tyson or Jake Paul tonight?
I think Mike Tyson. He's I think he's a tough bull. I mean, rockhead type of thing that he can. I don't think nothing phases him. But if it goes after 4 or 5 rounds, I think he might run out of gas.
Joe, what do you think? Joe, what do you think on that one? Who's your pick for tonight, Joe? Dennis is going Iron Mike, he says, but he's nervous after 5 rounds. Who do you think?
In all honesty, if I could say,
this is a belabored pick.
My heart is with Mike. My heart is with Mike, but I don't know if Mike could pull it off. I don't think so.
Yep.
Really, you're giving it to the young gun.
Mike could do this.
Now, what do you say, both of you guys? Dennis is
I don't want
sport
to.
guy. He's real deal, right? He's well, what I heard Iron Mike say is that he's a natural born killer. He is, Mike, but this guy is a manufactured killer. You guys put any stock into that?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He's not anymore. This is not the Mike Tyson of the 1990s. He's a family man. Listen, he's friends with Jake Paul. Don't let that fool you.
Dennis, he's saying it's a family affair. It's a family affair.
Transaction.
Right.
It's very fun. This is a very fun event. This is very fun because it's not like this show. I don't know who to bet on. I don't know who.
I don't know where to bet
exciting. It's very, very
New York State
fun.
won't let you bet it.
I'm glad for both these guys. I just don't think a 58, 68, I don't care how good a shape you're in, nothing compares to a 27-year-old in your prime.
I don't know. I'm not fighting Dennis DiPaolo when I'm 27. I'm not fighting him.
No, it's something else. But I don't know if many of you remember.
I got 30 seconds for any one of you.
You got it.
That's
two.
what I say to my wife.
But you know what we got? But if you remember back when Baby Joe was ready to go, I remember we had Mike Tyson booked with you for the championship here in Rich Stadium at the time. Remember that?
Get out of here.
Yes, the kids. We were working on it. I remember as the ringleaders, we were putting that match together. Your dad was all we. It was set to happen. It was set to happen. Believe you me, Rich Stadium would have been where the world championship would have been fought. Yep. Go ahead,
Dennis. I was in line for a heavyweight title shot against Klitschko, and they wanted me to go to Germany. And I'm not. I know I would have loved to have fought Klitschko. I know he probably would have whooped my ass. That's okay. But the money wasn't great. I was going to go there. And so they offered me Mike. And I said, let me take Mike in Buffalo because he agreed to come to Buffalo. We met about it. We were going to split the money at Ralph Wilson Stadium. It was a huge, huge payday.
It would have been huge.
My injury was held up by it. However, Mike was so gracious. But now keep in mind, this was hangover Mike Tyson. This was very much overweight Mike Tyson, not mentally sound. He was doing drugs on Las Vegas Boulevard. He was not. This was not the 1990s Mike Tyson I agreed to fight. I agreed to fight 2005 300-pound Mike Tyson, who lost to Keith McKnight. So that was intriguing to me. Now, today, Mike is even more mentally sound than he was then in 2005. So there's a little danger factor there. But, Mike could squash this guy in 3 rounds. But if he doesn't, then I would have to favor the youngster.
Actually.
What was, we're about, I don't know, almost 3 hours away from there. What was Papa Ilio's kind of pre-match routine? And Baby Joe, what do you think the fighters are doing right now as we speak, getting ready for this bout? What was Papa Ilio's pre-game routine?
I'd love to know Papa Ilio. I would love to know Papa
come on.
Ilio's
He's probably working out with towels.
We were not allowed in the locker room at that time. So that's it.
God shit a damn. Get out of the locker room. But did he have a pre-game meal? No. Do you know about? No.
A lot of times those guys just got out of a car and went right into the ring. I mean, because you remember back in the 50s and 60s, you drove from town to town and you wrestled. So a lot of those times you worked.
Yeah, it wasn't glamorous.
No,
it wasn't fashionable locker rooms. It wasn't glamorous. Those guys were warriors. Those guys.
Yeah. Joe, what was your routine?
And just.
What was your routine?
I mean, my God, I prayed. I prayed and prayed. I went to church every fight day and I prayed and. I just kind of rested and relaxed. I listened to some, music and gospel music. My God, I was so nervous every time. But I had a few rituals that I didn't want to talk about. But
was it the chicken abruzzi?
And no, I was a superstitious guy. I'm pretty OCD, but the days were wonderful. I got to tell you, every fighter coming up wants to fight at Madison Square Garden. Every fighter wants to fight at MGM and Mandalay Bay. That's their goal, and I got to do that. But nothing will ever compare to fighting in 20,000 people in Buffalo, New York. Nothing will ever compare to that.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Oh man, you kids! I'll tell you what, that was a highlight. There was no doubt about it. You talk about excitement. This whole city. Bob Kaczynski always calls you the third franchise in Buffalo. People forget that.
Wow.
The Bob
from Bob K.
Bob Kaczynski. He always calls. Joe was the third franchise in Buffalo. Yeah, he was.
Man, well, Dennis, we got to thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Joe, I know we got a couple questions for you wrapping up, but we're live from Ilio Palos.
Go ahead.
3785 South Park Avenue, Blaisdell, New York, a Western New York tradition since 1965.
All right. Thank you, kids. I appreciate my boys.
Hey,
my boys.
appreciate
I love
it.
you.
Dennis, thank
Matt and
you.
Jeff, the best. You got it. Thank you, Joe. All right. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for your friendship.
Ciao.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. You're welcome.
Joe, what a legend Dennis is. What an absolute legend.
The kindest, most generous. When I tell you, he's been involved in my career. I'm going to go back. I just won the Golden Gloves. He was all about, boxing and wrestling, of course. He's just been so gracious and generous, not just to me. I don't know where Western New York, there's people like Russ Salvatore.
Sure.
And people like Dennis DiPaolo. Where would Western New York be without people like that, without their establishments, without their kindness and generosity, and most of all, their love for Western New York?
Joe, if I could ask you a question at the start of your career, what was your first memory of you were a celebrity? You got picked out of the crowd because us in doing this podcast, we're starting to. We always have every podcast on a Papa Ilio quote. Hey, good to be seen. So we sometimes get that shouted to us. What was your first bit of, oh, my God, this is I started at 19, but my celebrity at 21 probably is bigger than, your graduation day at Sweet Home.
Gosh, it's funny. I just told a story. After the 96 Olympics in Atlanta, I spent that whole 3 or 4 months traveling with Mayweather, Antonio Tarver, David Reed, all these guys. I was an Olympic alternate, so I was traveling the world with them. It was so fun. Go to Atlanta. We come back to Buffalo. I landed in Buffalo, and it was the last event to ever be held at War Memorial Stadium at the auditorium. It was a WWF event. And I got off the plane. I remember my dad picking me up. They hadn't seen me in 3 months. I was, deciding to turn pro, and they go, they want you to be at the auditorium. The news, I didn't know the news was buzzing in West New York about me. I was out of town. And I went to the Aud, and they brought me backstage. My first time meeting Jim Kelly, who was so gracious and is now a dear friend of mine.
The best.
And Jim brought me under his wing that night, congratulated me. And we went in the locker room, and I was face to face with Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, all these wrestlers. And I thought, what is going on here? I don't even know. Then Jim and I went out to the ring and waved to the crowd. I'm thinking, why am I with Jim Kelly? I'm waving to the crowd. We end up going back. And then he goes, we're going to the pier. The pier was over. Do you want to go in the limo with us? I went to them.
The pier's a landfill now.
This whole experience, I was like, what? And I go, what is happening right now? And ever since then, in Western New York anyway, and Las Vegas. Like I'm recognized just in boxing towns, and it's because of the people. It's not because of me. It's not because of boxing. It's because of the people of this great Western New York. If I was born and raised in Houston, if I was born and raised in LA or born and raised in Miami, could I have been undefeated? Maybe. Could I have drawn 20,000 people? Never in a million years.
You firmly believe that? You firmly believe that?
Yeah.
With everything you accomplished at 36-0, at 36-0, you firmly believe that you would.
No, there's been a lot of heavyweight contenders in the world. A lot of the heavyweight contenders. There's heavyweight contenders all over the world. Why did 20,000 people come to see? It wasn't me. I wasn't that good. What was it? Wasn't the sport. If I was playing tennis, they would. It's because I was marketed well, and because the people of Western New York are the most loyal. Look at the Bills and the Sabres.
I think there was a man behind the name of which people were rooting for. People like to root for somebody that embodies what you're talking about. And I can't think of, you mentioned Jim, you mentioned Dennis. They called you the franchise. I don't think you can sit here and say you're not that good because you represent the underdog, the Rust Belt. And I think that's what you'll be remembered for as a dog who was fearless and didn't care about the work it took to get there because you were there. A lot of people won't. It's better to be a has-been than it ever was, and that goes with philanthropy and that goes with your boxing career. I gotta tell you,
I do. Like I said, I see life through the lens of a quality boxer and fighter, and there's so many metaphors to life in boxing. And I public speak now, and I speak about my story. And I speak about life after boxing and how good it could be. I speak to former athletes that can't really get their life straight. It's really a gift. The gift wasn't boxing. Boxing was the tool. The tool to my success after boxing, really. So boxing is a wonderful sport. I learned so much about myself through the sport of boxing. And it's just such a wonderful sport that it's funny that I think everybody should get punched in the face. I really don't laugh by that. Everybody needs to go through hardship.
You're lucky I'm on mute.
Everyone needs to go through tragedy, through overcoming, through hardship, through pain to be successful. And I got to tell you, I never learned anything from my fights that ended in 30 seconds or the first round. You might see I'm 36-0, but I got my ass beat in the gym. I got beat up so bad because I worked so hard. I had to work hard. I wasn't naturally good. I had to work hard. And it made me learn about life. And that's the kind of message I want to instill into the youth of this community.
So, Joe, I mean, you talk about trials and tribulations and feel like everybody has to go through something like that. What was yours?
Well, really, everything was going so well till my head injury. And in 2004, when I beat Klitschko, but I suffered a head injury, very controversial. It ended my career. Now, I fought 4 guys and beat 4 guys that got chances to fight for the heavyweight title. All I wanted was an opportunity to fight. I'm not saying I would have been world champion, undisputed. I was never going to be like, I wanted to fight for a heavyweight championship of the world. I know I could be heavyweight champion. And I never got my opportunity. I never will get an opportunity. And it was poor timing, yes, but that really, I went into a spiral. My life, I gained weight. I turned to drugs. I was depressed. But my life really began after that. And when I realized and God told me boxing was just a tool. That was not the gift I gave you. Your tool is to really help others. And I speak to people. I go to fundraisers. I try to use my name in any way, shape I can to make lives brighter. And it really is kind of a gift, and I think that's
it's almost like God gave you the land, but you did the construction.
That's a great way to put it. God doesn't care about boxing. God, I get letters. I haven't boxed in 20 years, and I got a letter not too long ago about a family who lost a loved one, and they donated their organs because he was a boxing fan, and they knew that was a something I was passionate about, organ donation. I mean, how is someone who hasn't fought, like, these are just the things, all I want to do is help people, make people smile, understand that they've got to fail, they've got to go through hardship, they've got to work hard.
Well, you speak about organ donation.
They want to do.
I think that heart of yours and that heart of gold for the Buffalo community, that'd probably fetch a pretty penny on the black market, that heart of yours.
Listen, man, I'm the biggest ambassador to Western New York. I love traveling. I've traveled this world thanks to boxing. I've been to 10 countries. I've been to almost every 50 states. Thanks to boxing, it gave me the ability to travel. I've been on private jets, but I've also met fighters that were literally fighting for their meal money. I have so blessed to have the life I've had, and my wife and my children have taught me truly about life. I mean, I'm more happier now than I've ever been due to this awesome sport, and it's an incredible sport. It's just a shitty business.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that, and we're here at Two Champions. We're very huge on philanthropy and stuff like that. We're doing a part of Pancho's Army's toy drive on Sunday. They rented out the Mafia House and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a chance. I mean, what is yours? What are your charities that you kind of work with and kind of deal with?
I mean, what don't I deal with? I'll tell you, right now is focusing on encouraging the students, whether it's high school or colleges. That's where I speak. JoeMessi.com is my website under instruction, but you can get a hold of me on LinkedIn or Instagram. But I do anything I can for Western New York. Organ donation is obviously very big of mine. I visit kids at Children's Hospital, Roswell Park. I'm in medical device sales, so I'm kind of tied into the hospitals, and that's the career that it does. Allowed me to make a living and give me something to be good at and be passionate about. So I'm very grateful to give back to my community any way that I can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kick it over to student body right here. He's with some of the fans here. Just real quick, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
can you hear me okay?
We got
so
you.
we have Lena in the crowd. Baby Joe, she's not going to be able to hear your response, but she's a big fan, big box fan, pretty educated. She's got one question for you. So, Lena, what's your question for Baby Joe?
Yeah, Baby Joe. So if you were to do a Netflix series like the one we're going to watch tonight, who would you fight?
Baby Joe, to you. Thank you, Lena. We appreciate it.
Who would I fight? That's a great question. I have no interest in fighting ever again, although I think about it every day. Don't get me wrong. When you hit my age at age 50, you're always thinking about what can I still do? Can I get into shape and lose 20 pounds and compete against that guy? That will never go away because we're athletes and we're competitors. And that's what Mike's going through right now. Mike Tyson. I'm 58. I'm in great shape. Could I compete against this guy? I don't know if I'd want to. I'm going to tell you, probably Deontay Wilder.
That's a big cat.
Deontay Wilder, he's been heavyweight champ a couple times. I see a lot of weakness in him. I've met Deontay in Vegas. He's huge. He's much bigger than I am. But that is a guy I think I could beat Deontay Wilder. I don't think I could beat Tyson Fury. He's too crazy. So Deontay Wilder would be the guy that I would want to fight today.
Hey, so Joe, I know you got to go. Deontay Wilder is known for his pre-ring entrance, all that bravado and stuff like that. If you had to walk out now,
so am I.
I know. Hey, that's where this is going. If you had to walk out right now to a alumni auditorium in Buffalo, New York, what song are you walking out to right now?
There's only one song, and it's going to be Thunderstruck for the rest of my life. My song is Thunderstruck to come out to. It always has been. For 36 fights, it was. But if I was in Buffalo and I called the shots, there would be more fire and more fireworks. And I don't even know if the local fire department would allow me to do what I was going to do if I were to fight Deontay Wilder in Buffalo.
Well, that's the song to play in. Baby Joe, we thank you so much. This is the song to play you out. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it, sir. You have a good night.
Go Bill. Go Bill.
Go Bills.
Go Bill.
That is Baby Joe Messi.
Buffalo legend himself.
Mr. Hayden, we are Okay. Sorry, chaotic night here at the Ringside Lounge. Hey, if anybody's bet this thing, tell us where to bet it. FanDuel hasn't allowed us, but we do pivot. We bring it. Come down to the Ringside Lounge. We're going to have a couple more interviews tonight. But another heavyweight battle going on, Matt. You know what it is, right, buddy? It is the Bills and the Chiefs. We're going to be out tomorrow, full force, and Sunday for Poncho's Army, benefiting the Ronald McDonald House.
Stop down, drop off
Stop
some
down.
toys.
Say what up to Student Body. Say what up to Matt. That's not third person because Student Body isn't real. Anyway, we're gonna have Steve Tasker down. We're gonna have Hannah Bill Lecter. We got a couple other super fans down, and we're gonna be interviewing
Daryl Talley.
We're gonna be interviewing Steve Tasker now. We're inside the Mafia House tomorrow. Inside the Mafia House.
And Sunday.
So give us a shout. This is all for good charity. Do charity, do philanthropy. Hey, Matt, give me sponsored right now.
Yep.
Sponsored right now.
So we got Iliad Apollos, we got Fubo TV, we got W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions. We have beauty pools, we have kayak pools, we have
Sons of Erie,
and we have Hamburg Brewing.
Charles Cavaness family.
And, Fat Boy Surf Club.
Fat Boy Surf Club. Yeah, we just got a network of great sponsors. We had a great week on the pod. Matt, who's got better than us? You know, we appreciate.
This is so much fun.
I mean, we've seen all the kerfluffles about on Twitter this week and all that. The Cowboys cheerleaders came out to Thunderstruck tonight at the fight. Funny enough. Cowboy cheerleaders. I mean, there's 4 teams that still have cheerleaders left?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
the Jets have the flight crew and all that other stuff. I don't think we're ever getting the Jills back after that lawsuit.
No.
But whatever, it's a big game. So, Matt, we have a segment sponsored by Sons of Erie called The Peak in the Pit.
Yep.
We kind of went over it on post-game, last game, so we're going to move ahead. What is the pit in your stomach? What could go wrong on Sunday at our 4:25 kickoff game at Holborn Orchard Park? What is the peak of greatness we need to achieve in order to secure a win? My co-host Matty, give it to me.
So I'm not so much worried about like the running backs or anything like that. You know, they got Kareem Hunt. Pacheco's going to be out another week. We may see him in the playoffs if and when we see the Chiefs in the playoffs. My pit is Travis Kelce going wild again, like he did in the playoffs last year. And yes, we had AJ Klein. Yes, we had Balin Spector. We had basically guys coming off the couch. But at this point right now, you got Terrell Bernard back. For the playoffs, you'll probably have Matt Milano.
Okay, I'll stop you right there. Let's not go ahead of Milano. He's not playing about. What does Terrell Bernard back mean in terms of game planning for Kelce, Matt?
It's going to be coverage. It's going to be. They're going to have to figure out a way to cover
to
Travis
neutralize
Kelce.
him.
Yeah, I'm not worried about their wide receivers. I mean, yes, they have DeAndre Hopkins, but we played him already with Calvin Ridley on the other side, and they shut him down. You got Christian Benford coming back. You got Rasul Douglas playing. Kaiir Elam was second in the NFL for PFF. I mean, there's so much. Yeah.
What? One more time?
Kaiir Elam was second in the NFL.
Yeah,
in lockdown grade.
All you weirdo haters. Kair's the boy. You ain't gonna hear that. Yeah, bring that over here. Bring that old thing over here. Yeah. I'll show you real quick. Kair's the homie. Root for the homies. Right? Look at that guy. Yeah. Just to be clear. Homie. I'll do this again. He doesn't know what a shtick is. Homie. Root for the homies because they both are combative. They both play at the same acumen. But just to round this out, Maddie, sponsored by Sons of Erie, what is the pit exactly that is in your stomach and what could go wrong?
Like I said, it's going to be the linebackers. This week, and specifically coverage for Travis Kelce. You cannot have him run wild, over the middle of the field and let Patrick Mahomes just have go gung ho all day.
My pit. I don't want to get in the business of watching a guy who is less athletic than Patrick Mahomes blitz the quarterback. Okay? I don't want to see anyone who is less athletic than Patrick Mahomes blitzing Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I really.
It's not something I want to get into. Do you?
No.
That's a pit in my stomach that we're gonna try and play that game. So that's Epitomize Song. What's the peak? Sponsored by Sons of Ear. The peak of greatness we need to uplift ourselves to secure AW at 425 in Ralph Wilson Stadium, Highmark Stadium.
I know I've gone to the well a lot this year, but Josh Allen has to be at the top of his game. He's got to hit Amari Cooper, who's expected to play this weekend. He's got to use his weapons. Dawson Knox. He's got to get him involved. He's got to get Mac Hollins involved. James Cook. You got to let James Cook. No pun intended, or full pun intended. But they don't have Dalton Kincaid. He's out. And we're going into the bye here.
Yeah, so. and that sounds like a PCL from Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks. Anybody who's twerked up their PCL, they know what that is. That is make it manageable. Maybe throw it on Don Joy or anything like that. The peak of which I think we need to get to secure a W is to play 4 consistent quarters.
Yeah.
4 consistent quarters.
Got to come out on fire.
We are riding.
On fire.
We are riding. Hopefully, a nice, as Bruce Springsteen says, a nice shiny Cadillac. Come on, do it. Cadillac. You don't know Springsteen. So we're riding a nice Cadillac with the wave we've been on with Tyler Bass. Now the game might come down to Tyler Bass. You confident?
I am more confident than I was last year. I am more confident in him after that 61-yarder. I am more confident.
Told you that shit meant something.
It does. It truly does. And, him hitting that 61-yarder, we were down here at the restaurant and watching him hit him that go through against the Dolphins.
Yeah, we were watching with what? Clayton and Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Doyle, as soon as that went through, he looked at me and you because we had an agreement not to talk. Tommy, if you want to extend that to our personal life, that'd be great. But another podcast where Student name dropped one of his player friends. Man, zero podcasts since we've had an incident.
Got to bring that back to 0.
Well, let's do this. We'll make it right. Eric Wood has a bourbon. Now we're at 0.
All right.
Yeah. That was a little overkill. But anyway, Tommy looked at me. He goes, he needed that one.
Yeah.
He needed that one for confidence, stuff like that.
So a few other choice words came out of his mouth, but we'll
sure.
We
don't say government names here, and we don't say personal commentary. But that kick was personal.
Yeah.
You don't see too much jam drawing from the Twitter GMs, which is great.
Well, it's kind of funny that as soon as they put their
nothing
confidence,
is funny about this game.
They put their confidence in him. They released.
Nothing is funny about this game.
They took all the other kickers off the roster, off the practice squad, everying, and gave them full confidence. I don't care if they listen to us or not. I'm just saying they put their full confidence in. I'm just talking fans in general.
You're just letting your soul cry.
Yeah, I mean they took everything away from him, everything that he's looking over his shoulder for.
Took away the process.
Yeah, exactly, and they basically said, "Here, go make kicks, go make kicks."
3 steps back, 2.5. Get a good hold. Get that Reed Ferguson delivery on the short snap. Everything like that. But in pivoting to the kicking game, a lot of Butker talk. Or not Butker. What's that?
It's Butker.
Oh, it's Butker?
Yeah. He's out. He's out this week with a knee injury.
Someone said, and I don't care about your personal. I literally do not care at all about personal beliefs. You shouldn't care about mine. But I saw something a little funny on Twitter.
Okay.
Should I say it?
Go ahead.
It's a little. Someone was like, "Well, with this time off now, he can help his wife in the kitchen." Oof, that is,
Yeah. Ooch.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, that's a.
Hey, you
put
your personals out there. It's gonna get personal back. So anyway, it's personal with us here at the Ringside Lounge. Come out, 3785 South Park Avenue, Western New York tradition since 1965.
They got the fights on the TV down here, and come check it out.
Or come pick Jake Paul here, and I'll fight you in the parking lot. One of the two, your choice. We can either fight over an order of Brajol, or we can fight over who's going to win. Ilio's just laughing at me, and it's just these jokes are rinse and repeat, man. I got to get off there. So anyway, we're going to be down at the Mafia House. Can't plug that enough for the Ronald McDonald Charity House. That's with Be Cool Foo. That is with Poncho's Army. We're going to pop in tomorrow. We got Steve Tasker, Daryl Talley, a couple bills. 4 o'clock game.
Those are Sunday. But
those are Sunday. Yeah,
we'll be out tomorrow too. So.
But it's better that we're out in the community, before this 4 o'clock kickoff, because I'd be I'm not that I'm not restless, but like I don't know what to do with these 4 o'clock kickoffs. That's what happens when you get good.
The 4:25 is not a bad spot because you got a really good game on before that on CBS.
I don't care.
Between the Ravens and the Steelers.
That's Tuesday's business for me.
Yeah, that's fine. That can be your Tuesday's business for you. But I'm just saying,
Wanna know what else I do?
as a football fan, we're not talking about throwing lefties. All right,
Dude, I gotta get. You'll get it. I gotta get new jokes. Matt, let your soul cry. Go ahead. 4 o'clock game. What are you doing before besides the Ronald McDonald House? What's going through your mind?
This week, I mean, I can't really speak too much because we are going to be so busy beforehand. Typically, if it was a true tailgate,
All right.
if it was a true tailgate, then I'd be thinking about the game, thinking about what would be happening, things like that. Whereas now, we're going to be so busy. We're going to be interviewing people. We're going to be talking to Steve Tasker.
It's going to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be thinking about the game until 4:25, which is great.
Well, it's not great because we have to talk about the game beforehand. So
Well,
if you could think about it a little bit, that would
But you know what I mean.
behoove the network.
It's nice to talk about it. It's almost like a therapy session.
But we're just talking heads.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nice, like, when we go on air, it's nice to not be a talking head. And like, I know I turned you down a little bit, but like it's nice. And I'll keep hammering this, man. You can talk to a bunch of accountants. You can talk to a bunch of office men. And we don't shame the real life job. Like, who gives a shit? But we try to embody nothing but illustrious guests here. Got to thank Baby Joe Messi coming on. You got a couple more this week.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I wish we would have got Mitch Reynolds this week, man. Head of game day operations. He's got 2 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. He said he's nervous. He's a little conflicted. He went to SUNY Cortland. I think he might be in town. Thigh Doctor's in town. Man, how cool would it be to fucking interact with him?
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. I mean, speaking of that too, next week we talked to we got to get a hold back of Ryan Talbot to come on and discuss the
we are a pro Talbot podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are a pro Talbot podcast.
And please throw as many jabs as you possibly can. I'm here for it.
Yeah, so am I. We just had a boxer on. We're not filming shit. From our studio apartment. That is.
I mean, there's some things. There's some choice words that I want to say, but I can't put it out on actual internet.
Why? How does that change our life? How does it change, like, next week when we have, who we have next week? Don't say it. Yeah, does that change anything?
No, it doesn't.
Because it's for the love of the game, dog. We don't care about anybody who doesn't wear a chin strap and eye black. And we're not talking about my personal life.
I'm just sick of people
Let's move off
ripping
this.
on people
Let's move off this.
for no reason whatsoever.
Why? Then why do we have a podcast together? That's all I do. I talk the most shit and like...
But you're talking the shit about players and...
No, I don't talk shit about players. Take that back.
Other teams and whatever and how things are working.
The less I talk,
hang on.
No. The less I talk on this podcast with all the guests we've gotten, the less I talk, the better. Correct?
Okay.
That's what you told me in the docs we signed when we formed this company.
This is true.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
I negotiate pretty well.
Yeah.
And the way we negotiated these guests this weekend.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I was just like, hey,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Don't make me text on this.
It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. Come join us down at the Mafia House.
Philanthropy.
Yeah. Drop off a toy, for the less fortunate. Do whatever you can. Stop by, say hi, whatever. Just retweet it on Twitter, whatever you can do, because it is truly the thing that.
Shout out, Be Cool Fool.
City of good neighbors, man.
Shout out, Be Cool Fool. I got 3 phone calls for him today, and he is just he is jazz.
Yeah.
Yo, that is a great partnership. Poncho's Army. Yo, Ezra's rest in peace.
Anthony, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no government names.
Be Cool Fool. If you're watching, we love you. Thank you. We great partnership, and we can't be more thankful to be.
Certainly. Why don't you rattle off some of our other partnerships for the viewers just to pay some of these bills?
Yeah, absolutely. Iliad Apollo's, Sons of Erie, Fat Boy Surf Club, W.GG, the official energy drink of Dew Champions, Fubo TV, Hamburg Brewing, beauty pools, kayak pools. We definitely want to thank all of our sponsors that have rode with us basically the entire time. So, with that being said, what else are you looking for? Because we do have a new segment here. I'll let you kind of introduce that because go ahead. What do we think the drive of the game is? I
know.
Yeah.
But I did not prepare. I think the drive of the game right now is the last drive of the game, no matter who has the ball. Sponsored by Kevin, his family transportation. This is the drive of the game, the drive of the game, the drive of the game segment. Last drive of the game for me, Maddie, is the last team that has the ball. Because you know it's coming to that. Always has, always will. Maddie, what's your drive of the game? Sponsored by Charles Cavaness, Family Transportation. Drive the game.
Yeah, mine is the same. It's going to come down to the final drive of the game. Whoever has the ball, it's going to come down to, and we've seen it the last, 4 or 5 times, other than I think 2021 when the Bills on that Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football game where they destroyed the Chiefs. Every single game since then has come down to the final drive, whether it's a Taron Johnson interception, whether it's and Von Miller making the play, or last year when it came down to Josh Allen and the team driving down the field, so it truly is going to come to that final drive. I really do have that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, this is hopefully we just add to some of the games that just stick out to me. The '93 AFC Championship, Bills. I think they Bills won 30-13 in Orchard Park. Let's have one of those, or the 2021 divisional 13 seconds. Let's move past it.
Real quick, as much as we sit here and talk about thinking that it's going to be the final drive of the game, I would love to have this game locked up by the mid-third quarter. Not saying Josh Allen throws the cap on and sit on the sideline, but let's hopefully for the mental acuity and everybody's heart in Buffalo can handle that at that point.
I mean, Josh has faced the Chiefs about 7 times. I think he has a culminating passer rating 98.3. He's passed for almost 2K, 16 touchdowns, only 1 pick.
I mean, he's 3-1 in the regular season against the Chiefs. The only game he lost. Only game he lost was here in Buffalo in 2020.
The postseason, he kind of sticks with it. Both, during the regular season, he has a 98.3 cumulative pass rating. In the postseason, he's got 98.9. He's got 3 picks overall. It's regular season, postseason, and he's got 1 in the postseason. But we're talking, we're going to see them again. Hey, thank you so much. That's an on-air acknowledgement to God. She did say, God bless you. And we're going to need, hopefully, God, all good druthers. Who are you talking to this week, Matt?
Hopefully he's a Bills fan, by the way.
Who are you talking to? Let me get one more interview, actually, for the crowd real quick.
I was going to say, we got some time. We got about 20 minutes here, kind of, going through everything. So I'll let you find somebody real quickly. And, go ahead.
Matt, you got me? Matt, we got somebody for the crowd. Just state your name and give me a score prediction for the 4 o'clock game, the Chiefs versus the Bills at Highmark Stadium. What's your name and what's your prediction?
My name is Eddie Vargo, and my prediction is 27-26, but I'm not going to say who wins.
Wow. He's kind of leaving it out. How many touchdowns for Josh?
Pardon me?
How many touchdowns for Josh?
Well, I think the Bills are going to get 3 touchdowns, and the rest is going to be field goals.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back and check that math. Yep, that works out with a 27. Okay, thank you. Do appreciate it. I need one more right here. It's real quick. Come here. Don't embarrass me live. Just tell us your score prediction on Sunday. Who's going to win and how many touchdowns Josh is going to throw?
The Bills are going to win 27-24.
Wow, those are pretty consistent. And how many touchdowns for Josh?
3.
3. There it is, guys. Live from Illionopolis. Thank you again. Do appreciate it. Live to champions. Hey, nothing but illustrious guests. Matt, I am going to drain my short little lizard, and you go back. Matt, I do have a question that you can address, though.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Is Taylor Swift on? Do we know?
Don't
You just
know.
had a concert last night in Toronto. Do you think the NFL is in cahoots?
Let's
debate.
let's be serious and let's embrace debate for a second here. As far as that goes, I mean, I just I think she's going to end up being there, but they had Lofke on the with Kay Adams this morning or this afternoon, and he was saying that they did not appreciate the way that their reception. But I mean, get over it. You're in enemy territory. Of course, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna get middle fingers. You're gonna get everything from that. You're gonna get snowballs thrown at you. So we'll definitely see how it goes this week on Sunday. But again, come down, join us at the Mafia House for some good, put some good into the world. Drop off some toys and definitely meet some former Bills players. And tailgate with myself and Student Body Right, and go Bills on that as well. I wanted to touch on this as well. For you want to explain that?
Yeah. If you're not coming here. If you're not here, you're nowhere. Where else would you rather be than Iliad Apollo's on your Friday night? So, Maddie, as we kind of run this up, I don't think we have any comments. I'm like looking forward to watching this fight. Who are you talking to this week, Maddie?
So, real quickly,
okay.
I want to get your
my opinion doesn't matter.
Get your opinion on this. Get your take on this part of it. How do you feel about Peerless Price finally coming back and being the legend of the game?
I don't care. I literally could care less.
No, I think it's cool that it's something that they do. They bring legends back. I mean, and
shout out Jeremy Kelly.
Yeah, Jeremy Kelly.
We started that. We got him in a couple of weeks. Nothing but illustrious guests. I don't care. I am so focused on what we got to do. What we got to do here. That these are ancillary details. I wish I could pick up tickets to watch this game. I am so focused on not letting my mood be in the tubes when I do the post-game show. Not letting the mood. I want to watch this game and get my mind right to embrace all this great season has offered us. Yo, fuck, dude, like. Fuck, we're 8-2. We are 8-2.
Yeah.
Let me say again, we are 8-2.
It's since
we're 5-5 last year.
When's the last time? 1993, right? And what happened that year?
I don't know. You have to watch the Frank Reich podcast. So who are you talking to?
Or Don Beebe.
Or Don Beebe. Nothing but illustrious. Or Tasker this weekend.
Yeah, Tasker.
Sevy.
Yeah.
We gotta bring that up.
Yeah.
So Maddie, who are you talking to, buddy?
So I'm gonna talk to the wide receiver core this week. You gotta step up for Josh. You gotta get open. You're playing a team that knows you very, very well. You've played them every single year. They're not a division opponent, but it seemed like because of the playoffs, you've played them twice a year. So they kind of Spagnolo, and Andy Reid know this team very well. Sean McDermott was a disciple of Andy Reid, and you got to step up and you got to make plays for your quarterback. You got to come through. So, Student, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Iliad Apollo. Iliad Apollo, grab that mic, go right in front of that banner, give us a score prediction for on Sunday. You're not going to be able to hear us, but go right back, 4th and 4th. That's Wu-Tang Clan. Back. All right.
On the last second field goal. Bills 27-24. Go Bills.
Appreciate you. We got a little buzzing in the mic. That's just buzzing from the pregame jitters and the pre-fight jitters. I am talking to Mr. Smiley. Get that team right. It's going to come down to something like that, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Smiley, yo, get them right. You got this. You're in the NFL for a reason. You've been through the ring world. You've been through people calling for your job. Cash that check. Cash that check with a win. All right? Cash that check. Cash that check with a win. Once again, this is Third and Manageable. Nothing but illustrious guests. This is my host to the left. You're right, Mr. Matt Diegert. I am Student Body Right.
And, as we end here, Student.
Hey, Matty. It's good to be fucking seen, bud.
Hey, we want to thank Iliad Apollo's Restaurant, 3785 South Park Avenue. Sons of Erie.
Fat Boy Surf Club. Who else? Kai Pools. Oh, we missed Hamburg all out. That really. Hey, shout out Hamburg Brewing.
Stand up now, come on and shout. Come on, baby! Come on.